with Sharon? The issue is that there are many, many talented speakers. Yes, they are talented with what they do and what they offer, yet they struggle. They struggle to get enough talks from enough clients from their talks. My name is Star Babatun, and I am the founder of Own Your Stage Speaker Training Company. And I believe that every time you speak, it is a performance, and every place you speak is a stage. Now, I know that there are talented speakers who struggle to give the performances they want on the stages they take. And the result is they don't get enough clients from their talks. But imagine this, right? Imagine you are standing on the stage in front of an audience of thousands, or it might be an audience of 25, right? But you are practiced. Ooh, you are poised, right? The audience is sitting on the edge of their seats. They're eager for your every word, and your message, your message is clear. Your talk is organized and compelling. And when you're done, hundreds of people rush to sign up for your programs and buy your services. And the end result is that you get more clients, more money, more impact on every stage you take, every time you speak. In essence, you are owning the stage and being the star speaker that you were born to be. So just so you know, I know a little something about shining like a star. And I also know about hiding your light and denying your gifts. From the time I was 7 years old, I was on stages, right? I was in television commercials, I was in TV shows, I was in movies, I was on the stage, I was all over. And I absolutely loved it. I loved being on stage. I loved engaging with people. It was my joy. But at the height of my career, there was a lot of tension going on in my house, a lot of hostility. And you know, I know now that it's a lot of pressure to have children who are in show business, but I didn't know it then. At that time, I thought that all of the problems that were happening in my family, I thought they were my fault. I thought they were because of me, because of my success, because I was standing in the spotlight. And so when I turned 18, I decided I was done. That's it. I would never take the stage again. I would never stand in the spotlight. I took my light, my joy. I packed it up in a little box. I taped it shut and I put it up on the shelf. And I left it there for 25 years. 25 years. This is a lifetime of denying my light, denying the stage, running from the stage, hiding from the stage. I was trying to run from my destiny, but I ended up back there anyway. Here's what happened. So I went on to have a pretty good life, you know, average, normal life. I got a husband, had some kids, we had a house, the mortgage, you know, I became an attorney. Everything was okay until it wasn't. It's like I always had this feeling that something was missing, that I wasn't living up to my potential. There was just this nagging feeling inside. I wonder if you understand. I wonder if you know what it's like to have that feeling, like it's like at the edge of your mind, just saying you could be doing better, you should be doing better. The one that says you're not happy here, there is more for you to do. Maybe you know what that was like, because that's what I was feeling every day that was haunting me. But I was not about to let it go. Oh no, look, I had a really good job, 6-figure income. We had benefits, you know, the kids were in private school. Come on, there is no way that I was messing up what I had. You know, Les Brown says that sometimes when you are too afraid to make a move in your life, life will move on you. And in the course of a year, life moved on me. Over the span of a year, my father passed away. My marriage fell apart and my job went away. I was so lost and confused and depressed. And during that time, a friend invited me to go to a personal development seminar. And look, I didn't want to go to that seminar. I didn't want to go and be positive. I was in my misery. You know, I was swimming in my misery and I really didn't want to leave. But I went to this seminar anyway, and I'm telling you, it changed everything. I remember sitting, it was on a mountaintop in Aspen, Colorado, right? And I'm sitting in the audience and I'm watching these amazing speakers go across the stage, right? Michael Gerber is there, Brian Tracy was there, Barbara DeAngelis. I mean, all of the greats were going across the stage. And I remember thinking, I love what they're doing. Not just what they were doing on the stage, but I loved how they were impacting the audience. And I decided in that moment that that's what I wanted to do, that I wanted to be on the stage just like that. And I'm telling you, it was only then that I remembered that that's where I used to be, that was my life. And in that moment, I decided I was going back to the stage, but this time as a speaker and a trainer. And as soon as I made that decision, onto the stage comes world-renowned motivational speaker Les Brown. Now, to be honest, I didn't know who Les was, but I was about to find out. Les got up on that stage. Whew, and I'm telling you, the man had a private conversation with me. I know there were 2,000 other people in the audience, but the man had a private conversation with me, and he asked me if I was done hiding my light, if I was done running from my brilliance, if I was done denying my destiny. And after 25 years, I was done. And I was ready to step in and to be the star that I was born to be. And from there began my speaker journey. I ended up working with Les and training with Les. I ran his speaker training program. And, you know, I went on to become the #1 trainer for a national training company. And now I get to do what I love. I get to stand on stages and help. I get to stand on stages and help speakers give dynamic performances every time they speak, every stage they take. Started out on the screen, 10 years as an actress, 10 years as a litigating attorney, 14 years as an award-winning speaker. I was a #1 trainer in sales and performance in a national training company, and I was trained by Les Brown and ran his speaker training company. And so that is a little bit about me. And what I'm going to talk to you about today is about owning your stage. It's about you being the star speaker that you were born to be. But before we do that, let's just get this straight, right? I believe that every time you speak, it is a performance, and every place you speak is a stage. And now I train and coach talented speakers to give dynamic performances on every stage they take, every time they speak, so they can consistently sell their products and services and make the money that they want and make the impact that they are here to make. Now, before I go on, I got to give you a gift, right? Mama says you don't come to anybody's house to give you a gift. Actually, you're in my house, but that's okay. Still, gifts are coming. And so I have a program called 5 Steps to a Captivating Story. And I want to share that with you because I think that is a perfect complement to the work that we're going to be doing today. All right. So all you have to do to get that is you text the word story, STORY, to 22828. 22828. Text the word story to 22828, or you can send me an email. star@starbabatoon.com, star@starbabatoon.com. All right. So that's that. I want to make sure you're in the right place, because you know what? You might not be in the right place. This talk might not be for you, but let's just see. Right? This is the right place for you if you're a good speaker or a decent speaker, right? But you still struggle to get enough clients, to get enough revenue when you talk, or, you're okay. You're not scared to death, but you don't feel that confident on stage or on camera. Or maybe you are the type that's a little bit unclear in how to put the story or the talk together, how to deliver it, right? Maybe that's your issue. And if those are your issues, baby, you are in the right place, because that's exactly what we are going to talk about today, right? And so, as I've said before, I have over 30 years experience on stages as an actress, as an attorney, where the courtroom was my stage, and 13 years as an international speaker. And I believe that I have learned over that time what it takes to own your stage and be a star speaker. And so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to share with you four strategies that you can use to increase your confidence and your impact and your income. Now, I know that we have a limited time together, right? We're not going to be together that long. And some of you, from what we talk about, you're going to get everything you need. That's going to be brilliant. Absolutely. But some of you are going to say, ooh, I think I need a little bit more. I think I need a little bit more, a little more support. And if that sounds like you, I promise that I will let you know how I can support you so that you can fully implement the things I'm going to teach you today, so that you can reap the benefits of more clients, more money, more impact. All right. So if you're ready to be a star speaker, we'll just go ahead and get started. Now, what I'm going to tell you, the four strategies, they are the acronym STAR, because, well, my name is Star. And they are, the S is for storytelling, the T is for tangible tips, the A is for authentic performance, and the R is for relatable messenger. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into that. The first strategy is storytelling. Here's the deal. The best speakers are the best storytellers. From the time we were small, we have been intrigued by story. In fact, we are hardwired to love stories. And as we grow up, we don't lose that connection with stories. But now we've got stories of our own. Yes, 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 because we have these experiences, we have stories. These are things that have happened to us that can serve as a source of inspiration and learning for others. But they are no good if no one gets to hear them. They're no good. Now, one of the most important stories that you will ever tell, one of the most important stories that you have in your arsenal is your signature story. This is the story that tells the world about who you are and what you have to offer and why they should care. This is the story that you will tell over and over and over again. You think of any of the great speakers of today, any of them, and you know their stories. Les Brown, born on the floor of an abandoned building in Florida. Lisa Nichols, only $11 in the bank, couldn't get enough money out to get diapers for her child. Eric Thomas, sleeping in a crack house so he could protect his mother. You know their stories. They are known for their stories, and you should be as well. So you want to make sure that you can tell your signature story. But I got to tell you, that's not the only story that matters. Oh, no, it's not. It's an important one, but there are other stories. As I mentioned, when I transitioned from being an attorney to being a speaker, I was trained by Les Brown. And one of the things that Les would always say, he'd always say, Star, don't ever tell a story without a point and never make a, okay, I'm not going to try to do Les's voice, but here's the deal. What he said was, you never make a point without a story. You never tell a story without a point. And in all the training that I have done, and I've done over 7,000 hours of training in 47 states, right? So I've been around a little bit. And as I said, I've earned the title of #1 in sales and performance when I was on the road with the national seminar companies. And I believe to this day that one of the keys to my success in that business, one of the keys that made me one of the top 3 and then the top trainer was the fact that I use stories to make points. Yes, look, I am teaching FMLA, Family Medical Leave Act, and a bunch of other legal or HR topics, okay? Not the kind of sexy topics that people really want to know, but people loved my trainings because I told stories. Here's the deal. People have to be able to see themselves when you're talking, right? They have to be able to connect with you. And that's what stories do. People cannot see themselves in facts and figures. I'm sorry, but they can't, right? Graphs and charts, can't see myself there. And if people don't see themselves in your content, they will not connect with you. And if they don't connect, well, what are you doing? So we have to make sure that people can see themselves in your story. And here's the problem. I'm gonna tell you what the problem is. The problem is you are boring your audience to death with your facts and your figures. Okay, no offense, not trying to hurt your feelings, but you know who you are. You've got data and you're just throwing up this data all over your audience. You know what? That's a problem. That's a problem. Another problem is you're talking too much about the details, right? You're getting into too much of the details of your facts and your figures and your graphs. Really, it's too much. And the next thing is that you're not making a connection. You're not making a connection. If you don't make a connection with your audience, they're not going to buy into your ideas. They're not going to buy into you. And guess what? They're not going to buy. That is just the way it is, right? People have to be able to see themselves in your story. But when you craft and deliver your story in a way that includes them, then they're connected and all things are good, right? So let's just ask you this question. Why would we even tell a story? Why is it necessary to tell your story? And I'm going to tell you why it's necessary to tell your story. Three reasons. You ready? First of all, it adds distinction. Here's the deal. There are thousands of people who do exactly what you do. Look. For real, you know, what are you, health and wellness? Are you in finance? Are you in real estate? There are thousands of people. Oh, you're a life coach. You're a business coach. Thousands, tens of thousands of people who do exactly what you do. You're going to say, yes, but we have great service and we really care about our customers. Yeah, everybody says that. But what is it that makes you different? They may sell what you sell. They may have great service, but here's one thing they don't have. They don't have your story. They don't have your story because it's your story. So that story, that is what is going to distinguish you from all of the other competitors. That's one reason to tell your story. Another reason to tell your story is because it adds connection. It adds connection. And so this is scientifically based, right? I'm not just coming up with ideas about stories. It's scientifically based. Studies have shown that when a person is in storytelling mode, but more importantly, when they're in story listening mode, it releases a hormone in the body. And that hormone is oxytocin. You don't need to know that. Here's what you need to know. That is the same hormone that is released when you're falling in love. You remember falling in love? Yes, the love hormone. This is the same chemical that is released in the brain when people are in storytelling mode. And so you start telling stories, people start start feeling that affinity toward you, right? You are building connection. And also when you tell a story that reveals a little bit about you, that definitely creates connection. So that's another reason you want to tell your story. A third reason you want to tell your story is because it increases conversion. Again, scientifically proven. There was a study by Harvard University that showed that when people were in storytelling mode and they were in all of the chemical reaction, they were more likely to have brand loyalty regardless of price. Did you hear that? Price doesn't even matter because there's that connection and you've been there yourself. You've been in a place where you've gone to a store, maybe to buy a car, and you are ready to fork over some money. Cash in pocket, check. Here's my Black American Express card. You're ready to go. And yet you talk to a salesperson and they turn you off. You ever been there? You talk to a salesperson and they're like, I don't know, you're not feeling a connection. And you will keep that money right in your pocket, won't you? You know, you've been there. I've been there for sure. And I just don't want to spend my money here. Can I talk to someone else, please? I just want someone who's going to be grateful for my money. I want someone with whom I can connect. And so that is why you want to tell your story. And I want to give you a little storytelling tip, all right? Because people come to me all the time, Star, how do I tell my story? Well, first of all, they come, I've got so many stories, Star, so many stories, I don't even know where to begin. Or they come, they say, Star, I don't have any story. Where am I supposed to find a story? I don't know how to do it. All right. And so I help people in both of those situations. I want to give you a quick and easy tip on how to tell a story. It's going to sound ridiculously simple. You ready? Here it goes. Once upon a time, then one day, and now. That's it. That's how you tell a story. Seriously. And I know you're saying that sounds like Cinderella. That sounds like a fairy tale. It is. Fairy tales follow a formula. All good writing, good speaking follows a formula. It's like this: beginning, middle, end. This is so incredibly simple. And yet you've heard speakers who do not follow that formula. They start in the middle and then they just end, but there's no conclusion. You don't get the context, right? And sometimes there's no conflict. It's ridiculous, right? And I just gotta say, my daughter, famous for telling stories that go nowhere. Hey, Mom, I was in the park the other day and there was a bee. That's it. End of story. That did not have, that had a once upon a time. I was in the park. There was a, where's the story, baby? That's all right. I love her. I love her, but she's not a storyteller. You, on the other hand, are a storyteller. So this is a good tip for you, right? Once upon a time, then one day, and now. Once upon a time, there was a fish named Nemo who lived on a reef with his overprotective father. Then one day, Nemo gets mad. He runs away. He has all kinds of adventures. And now Nemo and his father live on the reef together. They both have a better understanding of Nemo's ability to take care of himself. Ta-da! Story. You've got to have a beginning, a middle, and end. The once upon a time, context. Tell me the who, what, when, where, so I know who the characters are. Body. Then one day, there's got to be some sort of conflict. There's got to be something that goes awry, right? Otherwise, we have no story. So then one day, tell me what happens then. And then I need you to wrap that up in a bow. Tell me what the lesson is, close up all the loose ends. Does that make sense? Once upon a time, then one day, and now. 3 tips on how to tell a story, quick and dirty. Now, there's a lot more to it because there's actually a 5-step story model, but this is enough to get you started. All right, so I want to talk to you about Betsy. So Betsy is clear example of too many facts and figures. Here's the deal about Betsy. Betsy is a scientist. She's a biologist, right? And she gets into Arbonne as a distributor and she loves it. Do you know why she loves it? She loves it because of the science. That's why she loves it. She gets into it. So it's skincare and health products, and she's having a great time. But she's telling people, guess what she's telling people? All about the science, because that's the part that she loves. And she is selling like, she's not making good sales. She's not doing a good job. So we end up working together and we worked on her story. Now, she was one of the ones, I don't have a story. I don't think I have a story. I've got nothing to tell, but we worked together. We found her story. We worked on the delivery of her story and she started doing very well. As you can see from the testimonial, she says, before we started working together, my presentations were full of benefits and features, but nothing engaging. She didn't even think she had a story. And now she's confident when she tells her presentations during her events, and she has seen a 35% increase in her sales, even during a pandemic. This is the power of story, my friend. All right, so that was storytelling. That was strategy number 1. Let's talk about strategy number 2. Strategy number 2, tangible tips. So there are a lot of speaker trainers, speaker coaches who teach storytelling, and that is fabulous. I'm one of them. And while I embrace telling your story and that it's great, you got to learn how to tell your story. Absolutely. It's one of the best things that you can do. But here's what I also know is your story is not enough. What? Yes, I said it. Your story is not enough. It's a great place to start. But guess what? People want more. People need more. No one wants to sit through an all-day sales pitch, right? And I know this because that's what my evaluation said when when I started out as a speaker for that training company. Remember the training company? I said that I was #1 in sales and performance. Let's just say I didn't start at #1. Let's just say I started at number 300, but that's all right. That's all right. And so, you know, part of my job was to sell products and memberships and that sort of thing, but people just didn't want to hear it. They didn't want to hear it. What they really wanted to hear is some tips, some tangible tips. How do I use the stuff that you're talking about, right? How do I use that? That is what they wanted, okay? And so I want to talk about Angel for a moment. Angel had a story, and it was about overcoming abuse and that sort of thing. And she, you know, she was invited to speak, and they'd ask her to speak, and she would tell them her story. And it was a heavy story. It was a heavy story, and it pulled a lot out of her. And I'm telling you, by the time she was done, she kind of felt like she was drained. She was, whew, it was a lot. And people would come up and congratulate her. You're so brave. Thank you for sharing their story. And they would pat her on the back and give her a tissue and, you know, love on her and all of that stuff. And she came to work with me because she said, that is not what I want. Plus, it took her 3 days to recover, 3 days to recover from that. It's not what she wanted. It's not how she wanted to show up in the world. And she didn't know what to do. And she came to work with me, and I pretty much told her, the issue is, my love, that you're just telling your story, and your story is not enough. It's not, that's it. Your story is not enough, right? And so for some people, the problem is just that with Angel. Story's not enough, right? We need more than that. Or you're given too much information, or your points are not sticky. It's not the kind of points that people can grab onto and believe and repeat, right? And so this is why tangible tips are important, right? Because people want value. They don't just want to know about your story. They want to know, what do I do, right? They want something that they can use in real life. How can I apply this to my life today, right? I need to get outside of a book. I need to know what to do. And when you give tips, you engender trust. People have a little more trust for you because you're not telling them a story. You're also telling them, here's what you do. Here's how you make it happen, all right? So how do you create tangible tips, Star? How do you do it? I'll talk to you about it. The first one is stop trying to give everything. Stop trying to teach everything you know. I need you to back up. I need you to back up. Let us say that you went to a buffet, right? You're going to a buffet and there you've got all the food that you want, and they just keep piling it on. You're not that hungry. You get a little bit hungry, but you know, they just keep piling the food on. Piling the food on. By the time the food gets up to here, guess what? You've lost your appetite. It's too much. And this is a lot of times what we do with our clients or our audiences. We want to just pile it on. Please, please. All they wanted was an appetizer, and you are piling on a 7-course meal plus dessert. Stop. Back up. Don't do it. All right. So understand that less is more, right? Also, you want to make sure that you extract the key points with the audience, right? You want to make sure that the audience knows exactly what your key points is. And what that's going to take is for you to know your key points. Again, some of the things are simple, but people don't know them. What are your key points? What are the key takeaways for the audience? Be clear on that, right? And then you want to keep it to about 3 to 5 points, 3 to 5 points. I was coaching with a person just the other day. And I was like, well, what did you learn from that experience? Because we're trying to get her 3 points. And she says, well, I learned this, and I learned this and that. Oh, and this thing. Oh, and this other thing. And I'm like, I get it. I get it that you learned a lot, but we're doing a 5-minute talk, a 10-minute talk. You cannot give me the 17 things that you learned. I need you to distill them into 3 to 5 points, right? Because studies have shown that we humans, we can remember about 3 to 5 things at a time, right? Think about your phone number. What is your phone number is 10 numbers, right? But it's divided into 3 sections because the brain can remember 3 things, right? Of course, nowadays we're all using our phones, so we're not remembering anything. But my point is, the point is that those three things. You want to have 3 to 5 points. Does that make sense? All right. So I want to talk to you about Brenda. Oh my God. Brenda's a great client. And she was the type that wanted to give everything. She's got 20 plus years of leadership skills, and she just wanted to pour all of that, onto her audience. And it was just too much. And we had to scale it back. Come on, just give me some tangible tips. And she was another one where, well, how about all 20 of these? No, we're not going to do that. She had a good long time. She had like a 2-hour presentation. So I'm like, well, look, we can give 5. Can you narrow it down to 5? And she was able to narrow it down to 5. And as she says in her testimonial, she wasn't sure how to share 20 years of experience, but we pared it down, helped her create a presentation that was just enough that people felt satisfied, but not overstuffed, right? And not only did she deliver an incredible speech, but she immediately got 5 clients and she was invited to come back and speak again. If she had given over too much, I doubt that would have happened, because people would have said, okay, I'm full, enough, Brenda. But she gave them just enough. So you want to make sure that you are giving tangible tips. That's strategy number 2, tangible tips. All right, so strategy number 3 is authentic performance, and that begins with your A, right? There we go. Strategy number 3 is authentic performance. And you might be saying, authentic performance, but start, if you're performing, you can't be authentic. And I want to say, yes, you can. And that's exactly the kind of performance you want. What does it mean to be authentically performance? See, like I said, I believe that every time you speak, it is a performance, and every place you speak is a stage. So when I talk about performance, what I'm talking about, it's not acting like something else. I'm talking about being in congruence with what you're talking about, right? I'm talking about showing up and being present. I'm talking about being your best, right? I'm talking about making sure that your words and your actions and your reactions match, because you have been in situations where people have spoken and their words don't match their actions. And you're like, I don't believe you and I don't trust you. And so when you are telling your story, or you are or giving your presentation, all of that has to match. I mean, if you think of an actor that you like, right? One of the things that you love about them is the fact that they don't look like they're acting. They look like they are really that character in that moment. It doesn't feel like they're putting on a show. It feels real. Why? Because they immerse themselves into the character and they show up. That is what I'm asking for you. I'm asking you to show up. And who's the character you're playing? You are playing the character of you. So I need you to immerse yourself into that character. It's like when you do any kind of job, you are evaluated on your performance, right? How you show up, how well you do your job. It's the same thing when you're having a conversation, right? Every time you speak, you want to show up, you want to do your best. You want to be authentic in that moment. And so that is what authentic performance is about. And so I want to talk about Wendy Ida. She is a fitness expert. She's phenomenal, right? But she told a story about escaping domestic violence, right? And she told this story. She was doing a presentation, and it was very interesting because she told that story like she was reporting the news. She was so disconnected from it. She was just, the words were just coming out, right? She says, I had a 15-minute window to leave my house. And so I gathered the kids, we got in the car, and then we ran off, and, you know, he chased us and we ended up in a hotel. That's how she's telling the story. It is such an impactful story. And I believe that that was not the best way to do it. So here's the problem. Here's the problem with most people, right? The problem with most people is that they're focused on the content, right? They're focused on the content. They're not focused on the delivery. Guess what? You need both. Thank you very much. And it looks fake when your face doesn't match your words. I remember the first time I was doing a presentation where I talked about my son. My son was diagnosed with a life-threatening disease. And I was telling the story about it like this. I was telling the story like this with a great big smile on my face, because I always smile, because my smile is one of my best attributes. And people were like, that's creepy, because you're talking about a very serious situation, but your face doesn't match your words. So you got to make sure your face matches your word, and you want to make sure you can build in the tension. And so with Wendy, what we did is we took one of her scenes where she was trying to decide if she was going to go back home to pick up the something that was owned by her child, or keep going and make their escape. And I had her set at the stop sign. That's part of the story. Bring me to that moment where she had to think, am I going to go back, or am I going to go forward? Am I going to go back, or am I going to go forward? The light turned green and I turned back. Oh my God, the audience is like, oh, why? Because we built tension. We brought them into the moment. That is a performance. Was it fake? No, I just made her get to that real moment. And so that is your tangible tips, right? And why do we want it? Because people want to be entertained. Look, and it engages the audience, and it helps the audience remember. So here's some tips from authentic performance. Slow down, tap into the emotion. Use your voice, your volume, your pace, your silence, and make sure you bring your whole body into it, right? So that is that. And Eldana Lewis Fernandez is another one of my clients. We had her give her presentation, and when we talk about performance, she gave her first presentation. She's retired military, and she was in her camouflage, her fatigues. And I said, dress it up, put on your dress blues, and had her strut down the center stage with her uniform on. Oh my God, she got a standing ovation before she even began. And she says that she was already a good speaker, but she wasn't making the impact. When she's worked with me and did that presentation, as she said, the audience was riveted. They were so quiet, waiting for her every move. Why? Because she gave an authentic performance. So that's strategy number 2, authentic. Number 3, authentic performance. Now, we got strategy number 4, you got to be a relatable messenger. Here's a problem. You want to tell your story, and you don't want anyone to know all the bad stuff. So you appear too normal, too unreal, too perfect. Nobody connects with you. They don't believe you understand my pain, right? And the audience doesn't believe your solution can work for them because they're not seeing it in you. There's no connection with the audience. So why is this important? When you have, when you're a relatable messenger, it increases the know, like, and trust factor. And that's when people buy. They buy when they know, like, and trust. It allows people to see you in themselves, or see themselves in you, to know that you fall, you get up, you have pain. They want to know that, and encourages people to take action, because they will come back and say, look, if he can do it, if she can do it, then maybe I can do it too. So here's some tips. Here's some tips on how to be relatable. First of all, get out of your head. Get out of your head and thinking about yourself and what the audience is going to think about you. Think about you are here to serve them. Go ahead and be vulnerable. Let them know that you have scars, that you have pain. Not too much, but you want to let them know that you have this pain, so they can say, yes, he hurts just like I hurt. When you cut him, does he not bleed? That's what we want to know, right? And make it about the audience. So I love this poem by Nikita Gill. She says, there's nothing beautiful about the wreckage of a human being. There's nothing beautiful about that damage, but what is beautiful is their strength and resilience. What matters is how they pick through the wreckage and build something beautiful. People want to know, not necessarily how bad your life is, but what they want to know is, how did you go from here to here? How'd you pull it through? This makes you a relatable person. And so I was working with my friend Pam, my client Pam, and she's already speaking to grow her business. She helps women of a certain age with retirement and money and that sort of thing. And she knew that the people she was talking to needed what she was giving them, but they just would not buy. We worked together, and we worked on telling her story of why she was even doing this. It made her more relatable. Talked about her pain and watching her mother, struggle with finances, almost going through foreclosure. Yes, we tell that. She became a relatable messenger. And she says she closed 4 times as many clients, because that's what happens when you're relatable. Strategy number 4, you gotta be a relatable messenger. All right. So those were your 4 tips. Let's just review them right now. The S is for storytelling. The T is for tangible tips. The A is for authentic performance. And the R is for relatable messenger. This is how you own your stage and be the star speaker that you were born to be. I wanted to remind you of the free gift. Text the word story to 22828 or send me an email, star@starbabatoon.com. There are many of you who got what you need right now, but some of you, you know that you need more, right? You want greater impact. You want deeper connection. You want to make more money, and you want to do this every time you speak. I need you to imagine. Imagine you're getting more clients to buy your services. Imagine you're able to surpass your income goals. Imagine you are making a greater impact. To be honest with you, you have a choice. You can stay where you are, frustrated, boring, disconnected, inauthentic, not meeting your income goals, or you could get training. You could get training so that you can make deeper connections, have greater impact, do more sales. You could be the star speaker that you were born to be. Here's what I'd love you to do. If you want some support on your speaker journey, do me a favor. Give me a call. Let's set up a time. You can go to timewithstar.com. I have 10 slots open on my calendar, and I look forward to speaking with you. Here's my contact information, star@starbabatoon.com. Website is starbabatoon.com. And there's my phone number. I want us to go ahead and keep in touch. And I'll leave you with this. Somebody needs what you have. Somebody needs your voice. They need your product. They need your services. I remember when I was sitting on that mountain's top with when I saw Les Brown for the first time. There were 12 speakers there that day, 12 speakers who went across the stage who impressed me, but there was only one speaker who just absolutely touched my heart and led me forward and gave me the confidence to think that I could do this thing. It was one speaker. And he changed the trajectory of my entire life, one out of many. So you may sit around and go, there are other people who do what I do. There are other people who have what I have. But I'll tell you this, no one has your story. No one has your products, your services the way you deliver them. And so whatever it is that you do, I invite you to stop hiding, stop denying, stop deflecting your gifts. I encourage you to embrace your inner light and to be the star speaker that you were born to be. My name is Star Babatoon, and I'll see you next time.
If you've experienced these things, you got hacked. Hacked is when someone gains unauthorized access to systems or data. Just like phones and computers get hacked, people get hacked. Wait, what? Our bodies are made up of systems and our brains are like computers. The result, you get hacked. In my Stage Therapy speaker development program for women, we explore the things that hack our ability to speak with confidence and impact the world with our messages. I'll teach you the secret to becoming unhackable. Today, you can get a free copy of the book, Unhackable, Close the Gap Between Dreaming and Doing. You just have to click the link below, get your free copy by paying shipping and handling. My name is Betty Jewel Slater. I'm a film and stage producer, an actor, author, speaker, and coach. My passion?
Women, giving them the tools to control their future, overcome imposter syndrome, help manage their intellectual assets, and to dominate in their respective profession. Ladies, let's discuss some hard truths. Women leaders are needed everywhere. Women leaders are needed in the home, in the church, and in the professional arena. People with money teach their children and loved ones the value and importance of money. As women, we need to teach our daughters, sisters, friends, and more about the importance and value of leadership. More specifically, the skill sets and knowledge needed to be effective and to build their confidence. Make this time the time that everything changes. If you want to know how to learn how to earn your seat at the table, if you want to overcome imposter syndrome with tangible and credible steps, if you want to make a difference for yourself and for others and embody that leadership mindset, come join American Management and Leadership by Design's Women's Leadership Masterclass, September 13th through the 16th. Take that step and become the leader that you always wanted to be. Many are called, but only a few are chosen.
Hello, 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 and welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Leadership Intelligence Creates Leadership Champions. I am Dr. Tommy Nash, and thank you for being with me today. You are here by purpose, not by circumstance. Again, I am Dr. Tommy Nash, owner of KOGA, the nation's #1 leadership instructor. And today, like I said, I'm going to be talking to you about Leadership Intelligence Creates Leadership Champions. That's the online course that I'm going to be talking to you about. Actually, you're going to get 2 for 1 today because I have some lessons and some teachings that I'm going to give to you along the way. So why are you here? Let's get right down to business. You're here for 1 or 2 reasons. Reason 1, you like to be a better leader. Why? To help you further your career goals and personal lives, but you're unsure how to get those skills. And reason 2, you have the title of a leader, but you don't feel that you have the right influence, or you should not have, may not even have the influence at all. But we'll talk about that and we'll work on it. And by the way, everything we talk about today is going to be covered in my online course. How do I know this? I get it. I mean, I really get it. These are the same challenges that I hear all the time when I talk to visionaries that are faced with the same thing that I'm talking to you about right now. They're trying to advance the next level, but they don't know how to do it. And I've been studying this problem for many years, and I'm here to help you solve your problem. That reminds me, just in case we haven't met before, I am Dr. Tommy Nash. Hello. And where do I come in? What do I do? Well, today, I'm a professional speaker and an author and a leadership consultant. So what does that mean to you? Well, I help ambitious individuals, organizations, businesses acquire and implement leadership practices to lead progress, to improve work culture and drive productivity. Formerly, I was a 25-year career naval officer in charge of training men and women to execute high-level procedures, just like I'm pretty much the way I'm doing, would do with you in my course, and that's the way I do with my clients today. By way of introduction, I am Mississippi born and raised, and from Duck Hill, Mississippi. It's a really small town, and we have really deep family values down south. I'm a United States Naval officer retired. I'm a world traveler, ship driver, and I shot ballistic missile shooters. I shot ballistic missiles for a living. And the Navy tried for 25 years to get rid of my Mississippi accent, but some people tell me they were not very successful. And if you want to hear some down south stories or some Navy stories, that will cost you a little bit extra. I was a government contractor from 2006 to 2009, and a federal government employee from 2009 until the present. As I mentioned before, I'm the owner of KOGA, Child of God Always, the nation's #1 leadership development and instructor. I'm an author, Leading Edges, leading from the front, back, sides, and top to bottom. Co-author of an anthology, Step into Leadership Greatness, because leadership isn't just a title. And by the way, that one is an international bestseller. So as I alluded to, I have over 25 years in U.S. Naval Officer leadership experience, and I also have 15 years of private industry and federal government experience. So with those 40 years of experience, I've seen the good and I've seen the bad of leadership practices. And just think about that. I have over 40 years of leadership to offer you. My mission, help clients identify their goals, develop plans to achieve them. Some of my services that I offer, professional speaker, online course, and leadership training consultant, and I'll let you read the rest, but just while you're doing that, I will let you know. I am available, I am ready, and I am willing to support. Now, let's get back to you, because that's the main reason we're here anyway. The first reason that you say you're here, that you're here working on yourself, on your intent. The second reason, and determining leadership influence. Well, today's discussion is just what you need, because it's going to talk about leadership intelligence and how it creates that leadership champions that you want to be. And I know it will help you because it's a 9-week course, 9-module, 9-week course. And this is where the lessons come in, because many organizations experience lack of organizational leadership. I've seen it inside the military and out. And one of the bad things about it is because of not effective leadership. and communication, and some bad leadership ethics. We will cover some of those. And while you're here, I keep saying this, but I assist my clients through guidance, mentorship, instruction, and we work together. Yes, we work together to propel the clients' lives and their careers to the next level, because that's what they want. They want to get to that next level. And I know that's what you want too. So some of the things we're going to talk about, and these where the lessons come in, become the difference. Now let's get to the point here. You don't want to be a manager forever, do you? You want to be a leader, right? The whole point of having your name on the door isn't that it's not to say I did it, but it is to say I led a group of people toward a common goal, and we totally crushed it. You want to be a leader because it means that you are invested in the production of your team, the organization, okay? And you believe in the visions and the abilities of that organization and the capabilities of all of them. So you're going to lead your people with all of this in mind, all right? So you import that knowledge and you import your skills, using your skills to lead them to a common goal. Pain points. Let's talk about pain points for a minute, because I alluded to in the beginning that leaders don't know how to get that skill. That's a pain point. If they don't know how to acquire the skills to get to the next level, that is a pain point. And while no two organizations are the same, many of them have similar pain points. And that's what I'm here to do, get rid of those pain points. The pain points I'm talking about, from point A to point Z. Not point A to point B, but point A to point Z. And guess what? The number one reason why people leave their job is one of the pain points here: bad leadership. The effects of bad leadership sometimes may be underestimated, but it has a devastating impact. The next one, organizational leadership progression. It should be scaled to the growth. If it's a small one, you scale it there. If it's large, you scale it there. Scale it accordingly. Clearly defined expectation. Clearly defined expectation means if you cannot define expectations of the organization to your employees, they won't know what the expectations are. How are they going to strive to meet those expectations if they don't know? You have to know what they are and define them. For communication, well, I will tell you this. I am a pro communication and expert, because I will tell you, I believe strongly that communication is vital at every stage of leadership. I don't care where you are and who you are. And we'll talk more about communication as we go along. Meaningful connection. People are looking to connect at the workplace because there's a lot of things going on. And they may not find that connection at home, but when they go to work, they want to find that connection. If it's not there, there's a pain point. Burnout, stress, and anxiety. What's happening today? Look around. What is happening in the world right now? The pandemic. It adds stress, anxiety. Even if it's not the pandemic, overworkload, overloaded work can also cause that anxiety, cause stress. So removing their pain points, my online course will tell you how, teach you how to reduce those pain points to a acceptable level or remove them altogether. Okay, course modules. What are you getting? Leadership Intelligence creates leadership champions. It's a 9-module or 9-week immensely informative online course. What's the first one here? What is effective leadership? The sequence of effective leadership. And I say here, what exactly is a leader? What is it? What's your definition of a leader? Is she just a good quality manager? No. Or what's the definition? Because once you think about it here, leadership is not an official title. It's a set of behaviors. It's an attitude. What makes everyone want to come and work for you? Do they flock to you for your leadership styles, your leadership gifts, your talents? Do they? We'll teach you how to do it. Module 2, becoming a true leader, unlocking a true leader in yourself here. You want to be more than just a manager, okay? And I keep saying this, but don't get me wrong. I don't think managers are bad, but let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard anybody say the manager of the free world? Or the leader of the free world. You want to become a leader. Come on, let's talk about that. You want to inspire your employees, influence them, motivate them to be their very best. Module 3, reflective leadership, because you need to be a leader of one. You need to be a leader of yourself before becoming a leader of many. Do the right thing. You remember that movie Spike Lee many, many years ago? I'm dating myself, but he had a point. You do the right thing, but you do the right thing even when no one is around, because that's when it's most important, because you set the mindset to do the right thing. And besides that, you need to self-reflect. You need to remove the plank from your own eye before removing the splinter from someone else's eye. Think about that for a minute. Module 4, discovering your leadership style. Introduction to the different styles of leadership. You need to realize what kind of style or leadership that you possess. You need to decide which one you should keep, adapt, or abandon. You don't need to keep all of them. Think about it. Some cookie cutters are not right for everybody. Module 5, communication controls the culture. And I have said this once, I will say it again. It is critical, critical, critical at all phases of leadership. And you have to continue that communication throughout. You can't start and then stop, stop and start. It's a continuous effort. You must do it. And we will show you how and teach you how. Module 6, the art of conflict management through effective leadership. You know, a lot of people think conflict within the office or environment is not good. However, I beg to differ. Leadership and conflict management are part of the day-to-day process. However, if it continues, that's when it's bad. They may create opportunities for productivity, but they can cause adverse environments if not handled correctly. My course, my online course, we talk about that, teach you how to handle it. Module 7, building a culture that you love. It's usual for employees to have low motivation, but if this problem continues, then your colleagues or your coworkers or your employees, they may be constantly demotivated. Is that what you want? No, you want a motivated team. You want a motivated team. However, if they are demotivated, we got a fix for that, and we'll talk about it. Blueprint for empowerment is module 8, obtain outcomes to establish effective productivity. Why? Because you want to involve other individuals. You want to get them engaged, but what you don't want to do, you don't want to be a micromanager. Everybody have had one, I know. You don't want to be one of those, okay? Building the ultimate team. That's module 9. Remember, I alluded to a few minutes ago about if your team is demotivated, that's how you can do it. You can build your ultimate team, you're modifying a group of individuals that contribute into a cohesive team. It strengthens the relationships between the members of the group. And what you get out of that, you get power teams. So why my course, Dr. Nash? What, Tommy, why is my course so better than anybody else? I have about 50 reasons, but I'm not going to give you all of them today. I'll tell you about some right now. You learn how to stop managing and start leading. That's what it's all about. That is what it's all about. And because if you stop managing, start leading, a lot of the other things, they're going to fall in place anyway. You lead innovation, you change and talent development. And you remember, it's not all about the leaders. Oh, what? Really? No way. Yes way. Yes way. It's not about the leaders. Because an effective leader, a true leader, will already know. It's not always about the true leader. It's not always about the leader. It is about the employees. You need to know the difference, but better yet, you need to be the difference. And my course will boost interpersonal skills. It's just so much advantages, so many advantages in here. And some more benefits. Leaders' competence to function effectively, and it gives you a competitive edge over your peers. Once you have this course under your belt, I guarantee you that you will be much better. You'll be a better leader all the way around. And I will tell you that it's not just for workplace. It's for the home, community, self-reflection, because if you're a better leader in the community, you will recognize when you take those skills and take them home and in the community, you'll see so much. People will recognize you for your effort. Builds trust. We'll talk about this trust because it's not just about you trusting them. It's about them trusting each other and them trusting you, the leader. It's about all of that. Comfort zones. You need to pace yourself. It's a 9-week course, but if there's nobody breathing down your neck saying, hey, you got to do this, do that. It's not a test in there. No tests are involved. So you pace yourself, but by the way, you can't go to the next one until you finish the first one. Break down barriers of being in the classroom. Not in the classroom where you may be falling asleep. If you need to take a break, take a break. You need to go somewhere else, go, take it. Do it as you please. But one thing that may be more eye-catching and it cost-effective because the leaders of organizations, they see this and say, well, you know what? It's flexible, it's convenient, and yes, it is cost-effective. That's what they're looking for. And some of the other benefits, I have giveaways, I have warranties. So for example, a free weekly, once per week, one-on-one call discussion with me while you're enrolled in the course. Money back guarantee if you're not completely satisfied at the end of this course. But I know you will be. I know it. I already know. So something to think about. Let's talk about a few more things. Remember, I told you you're going to get some lessons out of this. You're getting 2 for 1, maybe even 3 for 1. But let's talk about the effective leadership traits and characteristics. Something for you to think about while I'm talking about it. Some characteristics and traits of leaders. Integrity, communication we've talked about, influence, the buy-in. You know, one thing that a lot of leaders may not recognize is the empathy and compassion. Yes, you need to be empathetic. You need to have compassion as well. So given the above, what do you think an effective leader is? An effective leader has a passion for a cause that is larger than they are. You know why? Because it's not about them. It's not about the leader. They have a vision that will better others. And it's much more than having a title at the beginning or end of your name or having your name on the door. Because let's think about this for a minute. Many of the best leaders in the world didn't even have a title. They did it anyway. Leaders may have specialized training, but we need to realize they started somewhere. So, and when I say that, that means they need the support. Don't talk about it. Be about it. If you're going to talk about it, do it. Walk the walk, talk the talk. You need to have an open door policy for your employees. Let them know you are a resource for them to draw on. You know, we've all had bad leaders. We know they go in the door, close the door, and don't want to talk, but don't be that. Don't be like them. Let them know they can come to you when they need you. Become a leader. Guess what? Many leaders don't really lead. They think they do. Yeah, they really do. But in reality, they follow the paths that were put before them, and that's what they do. So when they're doing that, what do you think is happening? Well, they're little more than overpaid followers. That's what they are, because they're replicating what they've seen. You don't want to be like that. You want to be in the forefront. You want to be that leader, and I'm going to show you how. If leaders are leading a team or organization that does not add value, guess what? It is time to pivot. Time to change course. You don't need to stay the course. Let me ask you, if you continue to do the same thing over and over again and expect change, what is that? That's the definition. Oh yes, you know what it is. It's the definition of insanity. The work of a true leader adds something to the world they work in. That leader creates value. They don't just make money. They don't just go in there to make money. That's what it's not all about that. They provide the people with what they want that they wouldn't otherwise get. You can remove those pain points as a leader. Remember I talked about those pain points from A to B, but you may want to, if you can't go from A to Z all the time, yes, you may have to start A to B, but I'm here to tell you today that I remove those pain points from A to Z because I don't stop along the way. Okay, we do them methodically. True leaders drive towards something new that's currently missing. No, we said that. Even if their goal is unproven at first, the leader keeps moving along. He doesn't give up. She doesn't give up. They keep moving. And that's what the thing, they have that drive, they have that integrity, determination, and focus. That's what is needed. Many leaders fall back on generic solutions. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I will tell you this, that mindset only works. Okay, if is what is currently being done is suitable for a specific situation. That's the only way it's going to work. True leadership is specific, substantial, and set its own course. A true leader understands his or her organization. And in doing that understanding, what it involves is spending time listening and thinking. Okay, you have to listen, you have to think. And when I say listen for understanding. Ensure each move stands a good chance of success. That's what you're thinking. You don't want to have your lofty goals. You don't want to run around telling everybody, hey, you know, I can do this, do that. You want to have goals that are attainable, okay? Mentorship and employee development. Teach your employees to fish. Yes, and I'm not talking about a fishing pole, but that's good, okay too, if you want to do that. You got to be willing to let your employees fail. Since we all learn through our mistakes, most of us do, I should say, more than success. Bravo Zulu is a military, specifically, it's a Navy term, meaning great job. And I bring this up because I want to say Bravo Zulu versus all shucks. It only takes one all shucks to erase 10 Bravo Zulus. It takes one all shucks to erase 10 great jobs. That's not a fair equation, is it? No. So the bottom line here, where management stops and leadership starts. Management controls the day-to-day operations, focuses on deadlines, solves immediate problems. Leadership, on the other hand, envisions a new future, creates a pathway forward, solves problems. Oh, Dr. Tommy, what do you mean? You just told me that management solves problems. Well, management does solve problems, but management solves immediate problems, whereas leadership not only solves immediate problems, but future issues as well. That's the difference. Leadership inspires a change. So what kind of mindset do you need? Well, I will tell you. It's LEAD, L-E-A-D, listen, engage, advise, and demonstrate. And these are the exact things, approach. This is the exact approach when I compile and get all the information for my online course, I use this kind of method. But why? Because listen, you let them hear, let them voice their concern in its entirety. Don't interrupt, but you can ask questions at the end to let them know that you were listening. Engage, repeat what you heard, so let them know, so you can let them know you understood it. Advise, if necessary, you have to be honest now. You got to be honest about all of it. Let them know about your ability or inability to comment on what they're talking about. If you cannot comment on it, let them know so you can get someone there that does understand. Demonstrate. Only thing I say about that is action speaks louder than words. Enough said. Don't get stuck in management. Now that you know what you're striving to achieve, don't do what a lot of leaders do. They work diligently to get to a position of leadership, be it based on the great ethics and work ethics. But guess what? They get there, they let it all slip away by becoming managers again. Don't do that. Don't do that. You got to be careful. Don't worry about it. I'm going to show you how. I'm going to teach you how to go along and don't revert back. Be an example. Actually, I like to say, be the example. Let employees see your work. Don't just go into your office and close the door and then talk to them through email or intercom. No, get out, get about, engage. I say again, get out, get about, and engage with your employees. Share your goals, share the goals of the organization, share the goals of the division or department, and let them know how things are going. Once they hear that, They'd be more willing to come to you and say, hey, you know what? I have an idea, or I think this will work. Okay? Be the coach. One of the things that great coaches do, they find the strength of their athletes. They put them in the best position to win or the best position to shine. Leaders must evaluate their employees and do the same thing. You need to coach them to develop their strength. So what you want to do is get them on the court, get them out of the stand, get them out of the stands, get them on the court. You earn their trust that way, but you also giving them every opportunity to shine in the workplace and praise them when they do well. Motivating teams, healthy office environment. But this is what comes out of motivating teams. Significant impact on productivity, positive feedback, feel more valuable when employees feel so much valuable when they learn new skills. That's why you have to challenge them with new work assignments. For example, a job that normally takes an hour, only give them 30 minutes and see what happens. Opportunity for development, yes, more opportunity to shine. Power of positive praise is overlooked. I can't say that enough, but I will say praise publicly, criticize privately. Money, is this a true motivational tool? I will tell you this. I have done a lot of study on this one, and I was surprised at the results. And the thing is, it came up almost 50-50 that some people thought that it was a motivation tool, and some really thought that it was just about the money, but some really wanted to go to work. They liked what they did. I was surprised. Show employees that they're trusted. So trust is often talked about as being the bedrock of a company's success, but they talk about it in terms of customer service. That's not what you want to do here. You want to, I'm not saying take it away entirely, but what I'm saying is what you want to do. That trust needs to be between your employees and that they believe in each other. Not necessarily, and also as a leader too. They need to believe in you, okay? But they also need to believe in each other because that's going to increase camaraderie and it's going to increase your productivity. Building collaborative culture. That's just what I was just talking about. Invest in technology that brings teams together. You know, since this pandemic, I think a lot of things have been exposed, including technology. So you have to work on it to ensure that it works. Make collaboration a priority. Same goals. You cannot have different goals for your team members. You have to strive and try to achieve the same goals, okay? Help team members build bonds. Do not create confusion. If you allow confusion within your ranks, you will have problems. You will lose productivity and you will lose that cohesiveness that I was talking about a few minutes ago. Make room for remote team members. Okay, pandemic. Most of us, since the pandemic started, a lot of us have been working remotely or from home. But just because you work from home, that all this collaboration, it does not have to stop. And it should not have stopped. I'll put it that way. Because you have to check on your employees. I tell you, frequent feedback is okay, that's great. But let's combine the frequent feedback with the remote members. What I'm talking about, you communicate with them. You could do it by an individual email or a phone call. It doesn't always have to be a team, a group email. Do it individual so they know that you care, you're thinking about them, you're singling them out. That's what it's all about. They need to feel wanted because this pandemic has taken a toll on a lot of people. And it's all about that. It's all about your employees. I will tell you why. Because the Navy taught me a long time ago that while the Navy has a mission, the mission cannot be completed without the people. And it's the same thing for organizations. Organization has a mission, guess what? They can't complete it without the people. Leadership is not easy. I hope no one ever said it was. Leading isn't easy, but it can have benefits that improve leader lives and the lives of employees. Leaders can also have better workplace morale, higher staff retention, better productivity, but the overall thing here is creating a more satisfying job. That's what it's all about. Your employees are happy to come to work. And if they're teleworking or working from home, they're happy to do it there. Okay? They're just happy to work for you leaders. Yes. Now, leadership intelligence creates leadership champions. I told you you're going to get some learning today. You're going to get the lesson. You did. But now that you've heard what this highly significant course and online course is all about, don't hesitate to sign up. Come on, be with me. Be the best that you can be. And you can do so right here on this online course. And that's the location of it. But you'll get a chance to see it again. But I just want to bring that to your mind. So if you order within the next 5 days, 15% reduced price, $69.70 would be the 15% reduced price, regular price at $8,200. But don't be dissuaded because it's worth every single penny. Every penny is worth. Corporations, minimum 5 students. Be mindful. This is a drip process, so you can't skip. You cannot skip course and think you can get ahead. It doesn't work that way. You have to finish one, then go to the next one. Again, a normal process, and not for a 9-module course like this, it's 9 weeks. But I will tell you, I'm going back up to the price here, and I'm not going to try to sit here and persuade you or tell you that, hey, mine is less than this course over here. I will tell you that mine is better than theirs, much better than theirs. Again, free, 1 call, weekly, 1 hour, call discussion while enrolled in the course. If not enrolled in the course, one-on-one call is $750 for 1 hour. So I want to tell you, challenge yourself and enroll today. Choose the path that works for you. Join the next level of leaders. That's what this is all about. This entire online course is preparing you for the next level. This entire course is preparing you so you can have better lives. It's preparing you that you can have better employees. Okay? Everybody benefits. Everybody. The process, you contact me to advise me of your interest. We'll schedule a discovery or discussion. Then you check your email for a message from me. And then we will have that discovery or discussion. Then you will enroll and be prepared to learn great things that will better your life, everybody's lives around you, your family, and your communities. And I ask you to pay it forward. Share this with colleagues and friends. That's what it's all about. Don't keep a secret. Don't be the senior person with a secret. Share this information because it's great stuff. And I said, thank you for your time. Your lives will be better. The benefits, I talked about them. And I will guarantee you won't find anybody out there with the kind of benefits, because I didn't even tell you half of them. I could have kept going, but I didn't want to brag too much, but I could have kept going about the benefits. Who benefits from this course? Organizations, communities, aspiring leaders, individuals, family. It's not just for the workplace. Everyone benefits, because I'm gonna tell you, I'm here to help everyone. And why do I want to help everyone? I'll tell you why. Because I genuinely like helping people. I like what I do, and I like helping people. Okay, and I would go back and say it's not all about the money, because it's not. But I like helping people. Again, you were here by purpose, not by circumstance. Let us work together and ensure immediate improvement in your lives, the people's lives around you, the people that work for you, because it's very, very important. This is much too important to pass up, because I know you want to do the right thing. I know you want to be a great leader. And if you're a good leader now, I can help you be a better leader. Koga leads. What? We lead the way. Here's my contact information. I am still Dr. Tommy Nash. Here's my LinkedIn information, my email, my Facebook, and online course. Again, this is where you can find it. Leadership Intelligence Creates Leadership Champions. You can find it right here on Thinkific. You go in and you type my name in there, it should pop up for you. My website, my business is Koga, the nation's #1 leadership instructor. And again, my book, The Leading Edges, the front, leading from the front, back, sides, and top to bottom. The book patch in the Amazon, that's where they can be found. And I am a co-author in an anthology of Step into Leadership Greatness, international bestseller. And this is my website here at the bottom. And I just want to say, do not pass up the opportunity of a lifetime here, because I know what I know what's in the course, and I know what it can give you. I know the benefits that you can reap from it, and I know that you will be satisfied. So don't tarry. Come on, get on the board, and let's do this together. I want to thank you, thank you, thank you, because I know you're going to do the right thing. Thank you for being here.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Angela H. Brown. I am the CEO and the owner of Deserve Professional Hair Care Products. I'm excited, and I hope you are excited too, about all of these nuggets that I am about to give you, okay? Now, these nuggets are intentional for giving you the information on how to successfully get your business, get your brand from, look at here, from start to, from an idea in your head all the way to a product like this. I have my own hair care line called Deserve Professional Hair Care Products. Now, this didn't happen overnight. So today I want to talk to you about how to successfully get your idea to reality. Do you hear me right? How to successfully get your idea to reality. And why am I credible? You know, why am I the one that can help you with that situation? Is because I started out in the beauty industry as a hairstylist. I know you're thinking a hair is kind of cute and fly. I know, I hear you. But I started out in the beauty industry, staying in my lane, love natural, beautiful hair. I love chemicals, colors, and all of that. But what do I want from this business? I wanted people to have every strand saved. I love natural, beautiful hair, chemical hair, but I love healthy hair. And I just knew that was my lane. That was my passion. People was weaving it, wigging it, and braiding it, and coloring it and cutting it. But Angela loved the fact that she could do healthy hair. And people came to me because they said she will make sure that your hair is healthy with a cute style. Now, moving on along, I became an author. I wrote the book, How to Get the Healthy Back in Your Hair. But my first book was titled It's More Better the Second Time Around. I'm a survivor of domestic violence. Let me tell you something. My best revenge has always been success. And so I want to come to you, and How to Get the Healthy Back in Your Hair was just intentional for giving you the actual roadmap of keeping your hair healthy by any means necessary. And my clients was in my ears saying to me, Angela, you can have your own hair care line. And I thought that was just so far away. Like me, this little poor girl from Memphis, Tennessee, she could do that? Oh, she could do that? And I was like, I was insecure. And you know how you run into the wrong guys, or you may be around family members that maybe haven't done much. And then all of a sudden you hear in your ear, maybe I can. So I was the mixologist in the salon. And this is how success began to breathe in my nostrils. And so I have the recipe for you guys because I want you to be successful, but I want you to have the knowledge and the common sense and the drive with some spirituality, because you have to incorporate religion, belief, and faith, because when things fall apart, guess what? You're the only one that's going to pick yourself up, and God is going to be there too. So how to successfully get your idea to the market? I want you to take away from this is learn how money is not the main concern. Oh, I hear crickets because of the fact that a lot of people think that money is the main concern. I had a guy, he was a millionaire, and he told me that, and I looked at him like, really? You think so? Well, you have money, I don't. But I realized that it is definitely not the main concern. The main concern is you, not procrastinating. Procrastinating can take you and set you back plenty of years. I mean years. Telling yourself you can do it, but you're taking your time. You're not being focused towards actually getting yourself ready and getting out on the market, or just getting things, jotting down information about what you're doing. Now, when I started Deserve professional hair care products, I knew it was intentional that I wanted to help salon professionals. I wanted to help the everyday person restore their hair and be educated on the textures. Now that's me. That's what I do. Hair care products, okay? But you may have a book, you may have an invention. I have actually had a US patent. I lost the patent. Why? Because I had the wrong business partner. I had the wrong information. I didn't keep up with my paperwork. I didn't keep up with making sure that the patent was, properly done. So I'm going to take you to this list. And I want you to be intentional for actually making sure that in this list that you are following everything. And I hope you're taking notes, because this list took me years to develop. Now, I want you to be open minded to know that. And I'm going to say this at the end because I want to remind you of it. I have a famous quote I like to say: the day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. Now, if you have that, and what does that mean? That means that the day that the idea pops in your head is not the day you go to the bank and draw out $5 million. It's not the day that your ideal, your product becomes so successful. No, that means the idea is born, but now it's time to go to work. So let's go to work. Ask your, I want you to ask yourself these questions. Am I in for the whole long haul? Why do you say, Angela, ask those questions? That's very important. Am I in for the long haul, the long haul road? Okay. If family doesn't support me, will I become angry and very disappointed? Oh, honey, I thought my family was going to just be rocking with me and supporting me. Yes, I do have some family members that do support me, but the majority doesn't. I recall one family member, I said, oh, I have my own shampoo, conditioners, and treatments out. And she said, well, I make mine at home. I don't need yours. So you have to know and realize that family members are not always going to support you, but you have to stay focused on the supporters. Also, will the no's make me stronger or weigh me down? I heard so many no's. I had people who was actually said they would lose sleep to make sure that my idea did not come out and my idea didn't prosper. What you have to do is take the no's as life lessons and know that that no is only a no because it's leading up to the yes. And they're only saying no because you're small, you're not popular, but you one day will be popular. That same no will probably turn into a yes, or you will have a better yes for you. And what should be my first move after you have developed a spiritual relationship with God? I made a lot of mistakes because I thought that God was not even interested in what I was doing. So God is who I serve. So I have to make sure that He is all in with all of my ideas. And I would recommend meditations. What is meditations? Meditations is pretty much when you're quiet and you are not talking, but you are listening to the Holy Spirit. And the Holy Spirit will give you ideas and let you know that what you're thinking about and what you're going through, if it's worth it, not worth it, how to move forward, or He'll just give you the okay. You know how you have that good gut feeling or that bad gut feeling? Just go with it. That's the Holy Spirit just discerning you and letting you know everything is okay. Yes, it's a good idea. Or when you have that feeling it's not a good idea, it's not good for me, then just listen to that Holy Spirit just walk through you. You have to be intentional reading your Bible, making sure, because God is not a liar. If you go to him and ask him for it and it's in his will, honey, it will come. Now, I will give you some advice. I want you to flow into the supernatural. And the natural, there's so much negative stuff going in the natural. The supernatural gives you hope. That means that it hasn't come here on earth, but is heading to your destination. Stay in the supernatural, rock in the supernatural. People might think you crazy, but when you know what you know, what you know, what you know, what you know, nobody can take that from you. Rock in your supernatural. And also, let's get down to the nitty gritty. I want you to make sure that you put protection on your name. Why do you need to do that? Because you're going to do all the homework on how to get a name out there. This is my name, Deserve. Okay. Well, D apostrophe SERV. I can't do business with Deserve in someone else, what someone else is also doing business. Now, let me tell you something. Someone else may be doing Deserve hand washes or Deserve garbage sacks or whatever. But if they're not doing Deserve in the hair industry, D apostrophe SERV, Deserve, you got it. Make sure that is in your industry. Now, how much does that cost? You could pay 25 to $30 just in your state just to reserve your name before you go through trademarks and things like that. So what is a trademark? Trademark is your name and your design. There's two trademarks, okay? One is the design and another one is the name. You got Nike, okay? That little check means a lot to Nike, because you can't just be walking around checking around here and that's some Nike stuff. So you have to make sure that your name is reserved first. Don't do all this stuff, building your website, doing this, doing that, and then you find out, wow, someone else has my name in my state. So I want you to be intentional for that. And also make sure that the person that you're hiring, um, we want you, before you give your wonderful idea out there, and I say this a lot, even when you come to me, I make sure that people understand. Make sure that if they're working for you, that they understand that it is not their invention, is not their product or idea. They can sign what we call is a work for hire agreement. Write that down. Are you writing it down? It's called a work for hire agreement. Also, an NDA. An NDA is more popular. An NDA is a non disclosure agreement. When you're telling people about your idea, guess what? You might be talking to someone who has the money to move forward faster than you. So you want to make sure that you're talking to someone who understands that is your idea, but if they're willing to sign a non-disclosure, honey, they are on your team or they are legit honest people. But if you have someone that says, well, we don't want to really sign that. I mean, because we don't know, our company doesn't do that. You go ahead and tell us what it is. Run as fast as you can, like Forrest Gump. Run, Forrest, because that person is saying to you, I am so dishonest. I don't know if I'm going to steal it or not. When I hear about it, I might take it, I might leave it, but I'm not signing anything. So make sure a non-disclosure is something that a person is willing to sign. And also, when you're actually getting started, let's back up a little bit. I want you, when the idea pops in your sleep or God puts it in your vision and all this stuff is happening, make sure that you work previously on your credit score. Previously, make sure, let me say it again, that you work on your credit score, because half the time we have bad credit scores with good ideas and we don't know how to get the money or the funding or whatever. Sometimes you don't have to get investors if you just work on your credit score, and all you need is maybe 16,000 or 20,000, 25 or $30,000, and you can get out a loan. You can do things like lines of credit. You can, but lines of credit is not as simple and easy as people think it is, because they're going to make sure that that business is up and thriving and running. Business credit is totally different from lines of credit. Okay. So we want to make sure when you have a product or idea, work on your credit so people can see that if they did do anything for you, that they can trust the idea that you will not, that you will pay back the loan. Look for any free money out there, grants, uh, anything that your city or your state has. So all of this leads up to, before you even get to the part of, you have the idea, but you need to make sure that the personal stuff is intact. Start paying off your bills, start paying off credit card debts, get ready for when you need this stuff, that you're able to move forward. Now, if you have a product or idea, this product has to be proven. So if you have a um, something commercial or whatever you have, or you've written a book, or you have a formulation, you want to get with a chemist first. You want to get with a chemist, and you want to test it out with an influencer. What is an influencer? You want an influencer agreement. An influencer is someone who has the expertise in your industry or what you're trying to accomplish, and they're willing to test it out for you. That influencer will intact give you the pros and cons and let you know, hey, that this is a great idea. It's working. Oh my God, you have something. And they're willing to be your testimonial to say, we need this. It is a great idea. So you want to make sure that all of your numbers are right. When I first had this idea, I went to a chemist and I said, will you please help me with my idea? And I said, so get everything that I need, because this is what I want the product to do. She said, honey, are we business partners? And I said, no, we're not. And she said, well, honey, you need to get everything that you need, and I will mix it. And then you will go out and test it and see, does it work? Okay. And so I was like, yes, ma'am. All right. So make sure that you have a relationship with a good chemist, that a chemist that can mix your ideal, or a mechanic or whoever. You got things to consider like toolings, CAD drawings. What is a CAD drawing? CAD drawings is pretty much the recipe when you get to the manufacturer on what you would need, how to make this. Your cost will be higher if it's an invention idea, because at first they don't have the moldings, they don't have the CAD drawings, they don't have nothing. It has to be created if it's not already a creation. If you need a patent, you have two types of patents. You have the design patent, and you have the utility patent. The design patent is something that's already out there, but you've designed it different. The utility patent is pretty much, it may be mechanics or things that are already out there, but in just it's not really a product that has hit the market before. You tweaked it a lot, so it's a utility patent. And then you have the treaty. What is a treaty? A treaty is pretty much what foreign countries, the Europe over there in Europe, although Africa, Japan, they will steal your product. So those are things that I teach, that how to actually do the patent, how to do the utility patent, but also they have something where they call the micro entity. The micro entity is pretty much allows you to get started and do your homework for a whole year on your product idea, paying just a little bit. You could pay 70 some dollars. You can pay, $100 or whatever have you. It is great for actually making sure that you are, able to, with low cost, get your idea out, do the research before you spend thousands and thousands of dollars on the actual patent. Now, this is also, I want to stop you here because some of you may have formulation products or whatever. I want to get back into your mind. So I want you to make sure that you do not just hire people because they're cheap. I did that. I'm like, ooh, that's my budget. You want to hire people and make them accountable for what they do. So you want to make sure that you're not overpaying, but you're not underpaying, or you're not hiring people because they're family, they're friends, they want to come aboard, but you want them to prove to you that they understand your product. Because let me tell you something, people who do websites, they don't understand all of that. But this is a roadmap. Y'all, I'm gonna download this whole thing and show you exactly from back to front. This is gonna be a giveaway because you guys, you can actually get this done. It goes on and on and on, but it is the roadmap. Remember, the day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. I'm going to give you this as a gift. So we're going to download it, how to successfully get your idea into reality on the shelf and actually out there on the market successfully. I'm here for you. I'm never going to leave you. My name is Angela H. Brown, and I am intrigued with how many people learn from this. It was just a little taste of what the bigger picture is seeing your product on the market. Thank you so much. My name is Angela H. Brown. I'm excited to see you on the shelf.
And you know what my answer is? My answer is the only way that you can reach those goals is if you have a vision to work towards, a vision that those goals are attached to. I would like to offer you a free course on the power of personal vision so that you can learn how to reach the goals that you have for yourself, for your career, for your ministry, for all the different areas of your life. Now, just go to powerofpersonalvision.com, and sign up for my free course on the power of personal vision. Again, that site is thepowerofpersonalvision.com. Sign up for that free site so you can learn free course so that you can learn how.
That unique DNA that weaves us together, that double helix that looks like a strand of yarn. God created each of us as distinct individuals from the moment we are conceived. I believe God created each of us with a unique combination of gifts, personalities, and strengths to fulfill the destiny He has created us to accomplish according to His purpose. We are to thrive in our lives and businesses and ministry while creating a legacy of abundance and good works for His glory. I'm Lisa Dale, a contemporary Christian business and life coach, founder of LifeWalk GPS. I help Christians ready to transition from unsure to confident by allowing them to identify the purpose God has for them based on their unique gifts, personalities, and strengths, ensuring they get it right and create the life, business, or ministry that God designed them to build.
Ding, ding. The bell rings, and the 10th round begins. It is the battle between Adonis Creed, played by Michael B. Jordan, and Drago Jr. Drago Jr. is definitely ahead. Now, Adonis Creed wants to remain the heavyweight champion of the world, but he's running out of time. 1, 2, Adonis Creed falls to the ground. Creed looks like he's going to lose again, but he remembers his training. He had to take responsibility. He had to train differently, to reposition himself. He had to do things different, to pivot, to reposition himself as the expert, and to avoid the same previous result, in his case, losing. Creed gets up off the ground. The referee looks at him. What is your name? Creed, he says. What is your name? The referee asks again. Creed, he says with conviction. Creed reaches down deep. Remember, he is the expert and realizes if he doesn't make his move right now, he would run out of time. So he stands up. He takes on Drago Jr. Heads on. 1, 2, 1, 2. Becomes the victor. Adonis Creed comes back, wins the battle, and remains the heavyweight champion of the world. Now, some of you are running out of time. You finally went back to school, and there's nothing wrong with getting your degrees, but the amount of time you spent getting your MBA, and then for some of you, getting your doctoral degree, or even worse, getting those degrees that you didn't choose the subject you really wanted to pursue. And now it's put you so far behind in the direction you really have been wanting to go. Having the success of becoming an entrepreneur and having the success of running your own business. You went to school for a reason, to learn to become a subject matter expert. Although you learned a few things, they didn't teach you how to be an expert. I went to school too, I know. They told you to learn a bunch of different things and be well-rounded, and it will pay off. You will make lots of money. Well, I'm here to tell you that for some of you, it may have been true, but for a lot of us, for most of us, it's simply not the truth. They lied to you. They lied to me too. The truth is, the folks that make the most money are the ones who have a specific area of focus. Specialists, experts. You can become the expert, but first you have to reposition yourself. Know this, understand this. Repositioning is so important because before you can have a clarifying message, before you can be a great storyteller, before you can achieve the success you have been waiting for, you have to be positioned correctly. And since some of you are already on a path, then it's necessary for you to be repositioned. Hello, my name is Masudi, Dr. Masudi Stoller, and I'm an entrepreneurial strategist. And the reason I'm here with you today is to give you 3 success strategies so you can reposition yourself as the expert. I stand before you proud of my accomplishments today. I have my degrees. I have a doctoral degree in business, an MBA with a marketing concentration, a bachelor's in business management. And I've been fortunate enough to be featured in CEO Blog Nation. I've recently been featured on the cover of iFlow magazine. I'm the author of 3 books on topics related to business, marketing, entrepreneurship. I have been blessed to be a contributing author on articles related to business, marketing, entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is my passion. And I help entrepreneurs who feel they are running out of time to move faster, learn faster than if they tried to do it on their own. How do I do that? Well, the most important thing that I do is I help entrepreneurs just like yourself clarify your niche to reposition yourself as the expert. Then you will not only have the confidence and the knowledge to keep pushing forward, but your clients and customers will see you as the answer to solve their challenges and their problems. I don't say these things to brag to you, although I'm proud of who I am today, but it wasn't always like this. I had to reposition myself. Repositioning means to intentionally change direction and to intentionally change the perception others have of you or your business. How many of you know who Vince Lombardi is? Raise your hand. If you're in a room by yourself, raise your hand. For those of you who don't, he's not just a coach, a former coach in the NFL. He has one of the best winning percentages as the head football coach, like 74%. The only one that has more than him is John Madden. Now, the Super Bowl, the biggest NFL game, the winner of that game gets the trophy in his name, the Vince Lombardi trophy. And Vince Lombardi once said, it's not whether you get knocked down, it's whether you get back up. Man, I tell you, I once thought I had a great thing going. I was working in IT support, and those of you who know me personally may remember that was my thing. I truly love supporting people, helping people solve their various computer issues. One of the most fulfilling things for me was knowing that I could get them unstuck, teaching them ways to make dealing with the computer so much easier. I loved it so much, I was always ranked in the top 5 in my particular department. It was really a great feeling knowing that every day when I went to work, I was going to a place that I was excited about, that I felt fulfilled. And I remember one particular day, I walked into work. One of my team leads said, they need you over in HR. And I'm thinking, cool, they're about to give me a promotion or a raise, or maybe they just have a tech issue they need me to solve, or maybe put me on a special project. When I walked into that office, man, I'll tell you, I'll never forget. I sat down And my manager looked at me and he says, "Hey, Masudi, I don't know how to tell you this, but we're downsizing. We're going to have to let you go." I remember thinking to myself, what? Downsizing? You're going to let me go? But I'm the best support people you have. My numbers prove it. And no one even gave me a heads up. I remember walking back to my desk embarrassed, having to collect my things in front of everybody. Then I remember getting to my car and I was devastated. Then I started feeling angry. How could I get up every day, go to work on time, supporting people that called in and now they let me go? No one even gave me a heads up. Did my coworkers know and not warn me? Did my team lead know and not tell me? At this point, I said to myself, you know what? I'm gonna get another job, especially in IT. It's gonna be easy. So I started submitting applications and more applications. And I kept hearing no after no. And I'm confused. I'm like, why is nobody hiring me? I have the experience. Things started to get worse because I was getting behind on my bills, trying to keep up with the rent, the electricity. I'm able to put gas in my car. And now, the rent people want their money every month. And some savings, I had some savings, but I ended up using all that money. And I'll never forget the day. I had to pick up my phone and call my little brother. You hear me? My little brother. Hey man, can I come crash at your place? I remember when I got over there, my brother's apartment, I remember having to sleep on the floor. You see, the couch had a spring in the middle. So you had to sit on the left side or the right side. So you couldn't sleep on it. I remember sitting on the floor, leaning against the couch, saying to myself, what happened? How did I get here? It's perhaps one of the most difficult times of my life. It's not whether you get knocked down, it's whether you get back up. When I finally let go of the bitterness and the anger, what I realized is that being let go was probably one of the best things that ever happened to me. You see, I had all these dreams and goals that I wanted to pursue. I wanted to go to school for business. I wanted to upgrade my life, be an entrepreneur at the highest level. What I realized is that if I had stayed at that job doing IT support, I never would have done it. I would have never went back to school. I had to get back up. I had to reposition myself. And today I'm on a whole new trajectory. So now instead of chasing a paycheck, I'm chasing down my passion. And guess what? I love knowing that I got back up, repositioned myself. So listen, I know you've had some things that knocked you down in life, a relationship, a job, maybe it was your health, something that caused you to not be on your true desired path of success. But I'll tell you this, it's not whether you get knocked down, it's whether you get back up. It may be time for you to reposition yourself in your preferred area of expertise. It may be time. No. It is time for you to go after the success that you truly desire. The success you've been waiting for and wanting for so long. I promised you I was going to give you 3 success strategies to reposition yourself as the expert. And I'm going to keep my word. Now, listen, look up here. Repositioning is necessary because it now positions you, it places you, allows you to place yourself as the expert. More importantly, it does not matter what path you're currently on. You can reposition yourself as the expert. I'm going to give you 5 quick reasons repositioning is necessary, and then I'm going to give you the strategies. 1, you are putting yourself in a position to make more money, right? We all want to make more money and you can do this because you're no longer a generalist. You are a specialist, an expert in your field. Heaven forbid you ever needed a heart surgery. Are you going to a general practitioner? No, you're going to a heart surgeon, a person who's expert on operating on hearts. If you tell me you're a heart surgeon, that tells me that's what you spend most of your time doing, right? So when you are an expert in real estate, expert in personal development, that means you spend the majority of the time doing that. And that you're achieving success for your clients doing that. Number 2, it makes it easier for your clients and customers to find you. People who need help are looking for a specific answer to a specific problem. Number 3, this helps you to secure your future work. If you're repositioning yourself as the expert, you want to ensure you're not the only person in a certain market, meaning someone may have already tried that and they see it as not viable, an area of focus. It's not a viable area of focus. However, you don't want to be one of a million people doing the same thing. You'll get lost in the crowd. You and your company will get lost in the crowd. Number 4, you increase your competency because you worked on this area over and over again. You're not a perceived expert. You're now becoming an actual expert. And number 5, it's harder to replace you. When you're an expert in your field, customer and clients cannot easily replace you or trade you out like a light bulb. Now, here's the first strategy. Number 1, first, you have to get your mindset right. You have to get your mindset. You have to fix your mindset. You have to first understand this is your business, not your bosses, this is not your supervisors, not your parents' company, it's yours. You're responsible. So let me give you the tactic. The tactic has 3 parts. Number 1, get out of autopilot. That's a term Melba Robbins uses, the author of the 5-second rule. The autopilot in our mind, the default in our mind is designed to sometimes tell us you can't really change when the truth is you can. Our mind is doing this to protect us. If you're a right-handed basketball player and you want to start using your left hand, the only way to do so is to become intentional, right? It has to be on purpose. You have to practice it. You have to work on it. It's the same concept that's helping you transition from automatically thinking negatively to thinking positively. It's the same process that helps you to transition from where you are to reposition yourself as the expert. So how do I do this, Masudi? Step 1, get out of autopilot. Step 2, intentionally start telling yourself that regardless of your age, regardless of when you finish your degree, regardless of what you've been doing the last 10 to 15 years, you can keep pushing forward. You can start working on getting the skills that you need to be the expert and launch, upgrade your business now. Start doing what you need to do now, to go back to school, to get your real estate license now. Do what you need to do to get the success, to upgrade your life, drive your influence, and go after what you truly want. Intentionally tell yourself you can keep pushing forward towards success. You can start that business now. You can do that thing you've always wanted to do now. And the business you're in that hasn't been getting the traction that you've been hoping for, you can pivot. Sometimes it just needs a little bit of an adjustment. You can be successful. Start intentionally thinking it will happen. Step number 3, start writing it down. If you can do it, intentionally write it down. And when you write it down, all those negative words and statements, so you can see it. Now that you've written those negative things, you can deal with it. Now that you've seen it, you can deal with it. You can become successful. You can, but you have to be intentional, right? Tell yourself you're smart. Tell yourself you have the education. Tell yourself I'm good enough right now to go after that thing. You don't have to wait anymore. Strategy number 2, if you want to reposition yourself as an expert, do this one thing. I call it the list of 20. Pull out a piece of paper and a pen, or use your computer if you're on it. Write down 20 specific pieces of information on your topic of expertise. If you're an expert, you should be able to talk about your area of expertise for at least 20 minutes. If you're choosing to go into a certain area and you know nothing about it, this is how you become an expert. This is the part that separates the generalist from the experts, separates the person who knows a little bit about something versus someone who is the expert. Make the list of 20 pieces of information, and this is how you break it down. The first 5 should be general information, the thing that the average person should know if you're working in a particular field. But item number 1 should be the definition. The middle 10 can be anything you feel is pertinent, anything you feel that's pertinent. Some kind of specific strategy or tactic should be part of that middle 10. The remaining 5 items should be next level, things that you know in your specific area that you can't easily be Googled. Next, this is the second part of it. This is still the second strategy. You need to find 3 books on your subject matter. Trevor Ott says leaders are readers. If you're an HR focus, then maybe a book by Rob Reiner out of the UK, maybe a resource or a book that he's written, maybe something you may want to read. This is how you begin to charge a premium for your services. Now, the final part of strategy number 2 is something I call the rule of 12. Why 12? This is a social media tactic, but for today, we're talking about Instagram. In most cases, Instagram, the maximum number of posts you can see on your mobile phone is 12. Your post on social media should be consistent. Look at your last 12 posts. Are they on a similar subject matter? Are they even on your area of expertise? Some people like to ask, where do you get the content to post for IG or social media posting? You get it from your list of 20. You get it from the books you read. And here's the key. Look up here. Look up here, please. You don't have to wait until you've read all the books or made your entire list of 20 to start talking about your area of expertise. In fact, Start now. There's no reason to wait. The more you talk about your thing, the more you become an expert. And that's strategy number 3. Be the expert now. What I know is you're here on this earth for a reason. There's something calling you from within that needs to be shared. When are you going to share it? How many of you are at a job that's not truly benefiting your future, right? It may be time for you to reposition yourself so you can be seen as the expert instead of your manager or your supervisor or your team lead. I'll say it again. Repositioning means to intentionally change direction and to intentionally change the perception others have of you and your business. The key word is intentionally, which means on purpose. That job you're working 40, 50, 60 hours uses you to fulfill their goals and their agenda. In most cases, their goals, their direction has nothing to do with you directly. For a lot of us, that's fine. As adults, we make these decisions to trade our time for a paycheck because we feel it's a fair exchange. And we believe we're receiving some benefit. What about your dream, your desire to become successful? You have the knowledge that needs to be shared. What about using your job to fund your dream? When you reposition yourself as an expert, you are positioning yourself for success. That's how you charge a premium for your services. Now, what are you going to do? What decision are you going to make right now? What action are you going to take? Do you know why people don't take action? Fear. You have to push through it. Your desire to be successful has to be more than your uncomfortable feeling. Your desire to be successful has to be more than your fear. Your desire to be better for your kids, for your family, for yourself, has to be greater than your desire to do nothing. Ask yourself, what is the cost of you not taking that next step towards your greatness and not moving forward? You want to be successful? I gave you a lot of different strategies. You want to be successful? Choose one. That's the secret. Choose one thing and do that. You don't have to try and do everything. Choose one specific strategy and do that. When you reposition yourself as the expert, you are positioning yourself for success. Your desire to be successful has to be more than your uncomfortable feeling. Ask yourself, what is the cost of you choosing not to take the next step towards your greatness, not moving forward, because it is a choice. You know how else to be successful? You reach out and ask for help. I've had to ask for help. Most of the people you know who are successful had to get some help. And that's how you accomplish your goals to success a whole lot faster. You are at SuccessFest conference. There are opportunities for you so you don't have to do this journey alone. You have a chance to change your life with a decision you choose to make right now. Choose to be successful.